This is Radio Kuwait. The time now in Kuwait City right now is 11:50 p.m. Good evening and welcome to your latest news update. I'm Yusuf Ibrahim. U.S. President Donald Trump says North Korea will be met with fire and fury if it threatens the U.S. His comments came after a Washington Post report citing U.S. intelligence officials said Pyongyang had produced a nuclear warhead small enough to fit inside its missiles. This would mean the North is developing nuclear weapons capable of striking the U.S. at a much faster rate than expected. India's diplomatic efforts to end a 7-week military standoff with China have hit a roadblock, where officials said prompting Chinese to trumpet rhetoric of unavoidable countermeasures on the unmarked border. China has insisted that India unilaterally withdrawn its troops from the remote Doklam Plateau claimed by both Beijing and Indian ally Bhutan. Britain's most senior judge has said the government needs to from the European Court of Justice after Brexit. Currently, Britain must abide by ECJ judgments, but Prime Minister Theresa May's government has said that Britain will leave its jurisdiction after Brexit. The United Nations Human Rights Office has warned of widespread and systematic use of excessive force being used against protesters in Venezuela. Of other human rights violations, including violent house raids, torture, and ill treatment. It says that the security forces are allegedly responsible for at least 46 deaths which occurred in protest-related violence. An earthquake measuring 6.5 in magnitude struck a remote and mountainous part of the southwestern province of Sichuan today, killing 5 people and trapping 100 tourists in a popular scenic spot. Officials said there were damage to buildings, including a hotel home to one of China's famous nature reserves and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Moving on to business news, where the U.S. International Trade Commission said today trade officials have agreed to investigate Qualcomm Incorporated allegations that Apple Incorporated infringed on patents with its iPhone 7 and other devices. The Commission said in a statement the ITC the earliest practicable time and will set a target date for completing its investigation within the next 45 days. As for sports news, Asbel Kiprop, Kenya's 3-time world champion over 1,500 meters, said today he has come to London to equal the 4 world titles of the Moroccan El Giroj. The 28-year-old Kiprop, a former Olympic champion for the 5,000 meters. And final check of the weather forecast in Kuwait City for the rest of the night, where the weather is going to be relatively hot and relatively humid over coastal areas with light variable wind change light to moderate northwesterly wind. As for Wednesday, the weather and relatively humid over coastal areas with light variable southeasterly wind with a speed of 6 to 26 kilometers per hour. Minimum expected to be around 35 degrees Celsius. Joining us